Here we go. Here it is. Y'all ready for this? Collector guide. This is our 5-minute collector guide. Shoutouts to the guy who says that you can't learn a character in 10 minutes. We're going to learn collector in 5 minutes. And this is how it's going to work. Why would you pick this character? Because you want to be Smeagol. Okay, that's just the big and small of it. If you want to be Smeagol, and you want to be precious, and you want the precious, and you hate the hobbitses, then this is absolutely the fucking character you want to be. I'm pretty sure that the only reason why Smeagol isn't a guest character DLC is because we have the Collector. Now, what is this archetype? Collector is gimmicks on top of gimmicks. Like, he's all the gimmicks, all right? Every kind of gimmick you could think of in this game for a character, right? He's got it, right? He's got fucking mix-ups, right? He's got that, right? He got the isn't there a low off of that? Did I do that wrong? Hold on, what's the low? He's got a low off of this shit. Forward 1, fucking 2, down 2, down 1. There it is, right? He's got mix-ups with the high. He's got mix-ups with the low. He's got a mid-grab. He's got fucking fire and shit, dots, right? Gimmicks on top of gimmicks. He's got cancels, right? You can cancel that. You can cancel that. You can teleport. Gimmicks. If you're a gimmicky person, Collector's the dude you want to be, all right? Now, for his build, this is what we have equipped, right? We got the fire on the floor, we got mid-grab, and we got telepute, okay? These two are really the thing that we're looking at, okay? This is the good shit. We grabbed the fire just because I just, like, there's some gimmicky-ass shit that I've seen, right? Especially with, like, the fucking, this shit, right? You get the back two. What is it? There's different moves you can do, but there's the restand, right? Isn't it two grab, right? That's it. And then you can do the fire and set it up. That sort of thing. Gimmicks you can do with the fire. There's a lot of utility and goofy shit you can do, but for the most part, this build, you want mid-grab and you want teleport. Mid-grab is mid-grab. All mid-grabs are mid-grabs. If you have a mid-grab, do note that it is a mid-grab. So if you have a mid-grab, it's a mid-grab. Mid-grabs are fucking cheap, okay? If you have a mid-grab and you could do a mid-grab, then you get the mid-grab and you do the mid-grab. Don't argue with me. You're the beginner, all right? This is my 5-minute collector guide. Get the mid-grab. Next one, we got the telepute, okay? He got different versions of the telepute. You can telepute close. You can telepute far away. Doesn't really matter. It's just a teleport. It's a teleport you use for teleportation processes, right? It's not a bad teleport, but it's also not one of the best. Like, it's not like Cetrion's. You can't do it from the air, right? You just kind of gotta, like, do it here. But you can do it with some of his gimmickier stuff, right? You can do the forward teleport and get away, right? A lot of times you'll see the teleport off of this string, right? Boom, and then we're out. The only problem, so like Collector has a lot of like unsafe shit, and you can use the far teleport to make them kind of quasi-safe. But the problem with Collector is that his range, when he goes that far away, is pretty bad. He's not very good at that range. So you're giving up your spacing in order to be safe. So there is a trade-off to the far teleport if you're using it for that purpose, because now you got to work your way back in, and that's not easy with Collector. But it is an option there, and it's a good option. So mostly, remember, teleport, mid-grab, that's some good shit. And then we got this fire. It throws down a dot, right? You can throw it close. You can throw it medium, right? You can throw it pretty far, right? I think you can even do it full screen. Does he have an up one? No, he does not. He only has close, medium, and far. There's no amplify to it. It just puts a dot. But Collector has a lot of restands, right? Forget which ones they are. That's not important. We'll get to that later. But Collector has a lot of restands. So anytime you do like a string, restands, you know, you can do shit like that. Right? Or I think it's this. That. Boom. And then you can go into that. Right? I think that's the setup. There. Hold on. You do the launch. Restand. Okay. And then boom, 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 boom. And then you're set. Right? That sort of thing. That's what you get the fire for. Moving along to his important moves, we kind of already touched on him. He doesn't have a lot of important moves. He has a lot of really bad moves, and then he's got a lot of really generic moves. So the ones that are very important are thus as follows. Forward 1, right? You can go forward 1, 2. Gives you a 3-hit string. Forward 1, 2 relatively safe, right? Relatively safe. -7 with the pushback, not really punishable. It's the follow-ups, right? -15, -14, so you do forward 1-2, down 1, does the low, forward 1-2, down 2, does an overhead. You're probably thinking, oh man, 50-50 mixed city. You're thinking wrong and you're an idiot. Stop that, okay? You overextend on this string when you want to check them on the stagger, right? So you do the stagger, you do the forward 1-2, right? Stagger it, be safe, and they start mashing. You're like, you know what, man? Quit mashing after my string. I'm going to finish the string. I could do it, right? I could finish my string. That's what you're doing, is when they are disrespecting your stagger, you overextend to catch them trying to poke, and you have a little utility in whether or not you overextend high or low. It is a gimmick. It's not a legit mix. They can see it coming, block you, and punish you. You are not using this mix to mix them up high or low. You are using these to mix them up strike or not strike, stagger or not stagger, because you're going to be staggering forward 1-2 a lot. And when they start just mashing afterwards, they're like, oh, he's staggering. You're like, you know what, fuck you. Eat this overhead, right? Or eat this low. That's what that's used for. It's not a mix-up tool in the sense that you think it's a mix-up tool. It is a mix-up tool, but not for high-low. It's for stagger versus not stagger. Next important move is going to be forward 3. This shit just is obnoxious, right? Look at this fucking range. Look at how far away this shit hits, right? This move is just like, you're just in now. You're in, right? And it knocks them down. So when you look at forward 3, right, and you look at the frame advantage from the full string, it's plus 22 on hit, right? But it's relatively safe if you do forward 3 by itself, -5. You can do forward 3 into any other part of it. It's relatively unsafe. There is some pushback, so it's kind of hard to punish depending on the character. If you finish the string all the way, is death on block. But it is hit confirmable to stagger, right? You can do this and see that the last hit didn't come out and stagger it. And so even though you're negative, you still have the threat of the last move, so you can stagger this relatively safely. Just don't be predictable about it. For the most part, if you're just using it to get in, you just do forward 3, right? Again, look at the range on it. It gets you in, forward 3, and then you can go right into this shit. Easy peasy. There's no need to use the rest of the string. The rest of the string is once they start anticipating that you're staggering forward 3, forward 3, forward 3, that's where you start using the rest of the string. And that's why there's so many layers to it. 4-3-1, 4-3-1-2, 4-3-1-3, all of them are unsafe, but they're very seldom will they be punished because of the follow-ups. It's not until you actually roll the dice and go all in on that last hit that they can passively wait for you and then punish you. Otherwise, feel free to stagger these two, 4-3-1 and 4-3-1-2, to your heart's content. It's just once you cash out, man, that's it. So, okay, next most important move is probably the move he's most famous for. It's this shit, right? 4-4, right? You can kind of stagger that. Do note that standing 4 is a high. So if he throws it out there, you can neutral duck and attack him through the second hit. So if he does that, you can neutral duck the first hit. If you know it's coming, you neutral duck the first hit and then just go in. And you'll interrupt the second hit. It's a lot easier than you would think. Also, this is flawless blockable. So if he does 4-4 and you're not confident, right, in the neutral duck, right? Maybe he's doing standing 4 and then like that. No, he would never do that. That move is stupid. We've already discussed that. But like maybe he's doing that into that. So you're afraid to neutral duck. So you want to take a defensive position and block. You can flawless block the second hit. That hit, depending on the spacing that he does it and your flawless block up 2, you could either get a full combo punish or you could just get an up 3 and get frame advantage. But keep in mind it is flawless blockable. So if you're a collector, you want to be careful with this stagger. Generally, you're only really safe doing this, especially from max range. So even if they duck it and you just did the stagger, there's not much they can do after ducking that. You know, you can throw that out and block. They have to be pretty on point with punishing you with that, especially at max range. And if they're a little off, you can get the second hit in. So there are mind games around the flawless block or the interrupt or throwing out a special move. There are mind games, and standing 4 by itself is safe enough at -6 to where you could confidently throw it out there and not expect to die every time. Moving on. Next important move is going to be back to 3-3, right? Back to 3-3. This is not an important move first of all, with this build, it's not an important move in the sense that you get much out of it, but in a game that can get as mashy as this one, back to 3-3 is a 10 frame mid, right? So we pull up back 2, 10 frame mid, -2 on block, the entire string. If we pull up our handy dandy frame data, back 2-3 is -8, and back 2-3-3 is -16. So this is on that quasi-safe range of the -8. So you can throw this out, and unless they're absolutely 100% sure you're not going to finish the string, they're probably not going to punish your stagger. You can get away with that stagger pretty frequently. And then once they start pressing afterwards, you can finish the string. Do note that if you're wrong on that, you will die. So 9 times out of 10, you don't really want to do the whole string or even the stagger all that often. For the most part, you just want the back 2. It's a 10 frame mid, so whenever they start mashing the pokes, right, you can just sit there and say, fuck you, dude, fuck you. And you can unga bunga that if you want, but it's just good to have a 10 frame mid to just stop the mashing. If your opponent is mashing on you, as soon as you block a poke, if you hit back 2, you're going to interrupt them almost every time. All you got to do is block 1 down 1 and then start mashing back 2 yourself. You'll interrupt them. And again, the hit advantage is -2, so you don't get much off of it, but you get a little bit of damage and you can stop them pressing. And if you want, you can go for the string and, you know, you're fucking +29, right? You're +29 on this. Knocks them down. You can move into range and do what you want. Next most important move is back 3. This shit is just good. You could get combos off of this shit, right? You can do this shit. Like, stuff like that, right? But back 3 is just a damn good anti-air. So a lot of collectors will start the round with this. If you try to move in or jump in, it'll hit you. They'll do this shit on wake up, right? They'll knock you down, and then they'll go knock you down, dash in, and do this shit to try and catch your up 3. So, like, this move has a lot of backwards movement, right? This attack has backwards movement. You hit back 3, he spins, he twirls around like a little fruit booty, and he steps back, and he does the little spinny thing. So it covers the airspace above you, and it moves you back. So anytime you think your opponent's approaching, you can throw that out there. And again, like I said, it is it is special cancelable. So you can sit there and throw it out there. Get a bola off of a juggle, like if you hit them as an anti-air, if they're jumping and you hit the back 3, you can combo into bola or whatever you have equipped, like relic lure or whatnot. But it's a good all-purpose anti-air, and it's especially effective because he takes a step back, so you can use it to whiff punish stuff that normally you wouldn't think it would, like up 3s, you know, like you knock them down with a sweep, come in up 3, the up 3 whiffs, and your back 3 hits him. That's kind of it for important moves with Kollector. Maybe I'm missing something, but those are the moves that I think are his most important moves. He's kind of he's more of a special move-based character more than a string-based character. His strings more facilitate the gimmicks that he has with his special moves. So he's one of those characters that has a lot of builds he can do, but unfortunately his base kit kind of holds him back because he's so reliant on his special moves. Whatever special moves you pick determine what kind of collector you'll be. So keep that in mind. This is the build that I use. I think that it's very, very effective for beginners to learn the character on. But that's the basis of his command list. The range you want to play him at is going to be range 2, right about here, right where about 4-4 is going to whiff. You want to be here, you're going to do this, you're going to kind of play that, right? And then if they ever get inside, you're going to do the forward one. This is like the godlike stagger. Especially in the poke war, you're going to do that. Stagger into 1-2, especially the forward 1 stagger by itself. This is dirty as a mix-up up close. So you do forward 1 into mid-grab because mid-grab's going to mid-grab. So you play him at range 2 or range 1. If you're ever at these ranges, you're kind of screwed. But this is why we got Telepuke, right? That's the 10-minute collector or the 5-minute collector guide. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and tell your mom. And also put it in your butt. It'll be good. Trust me. You'll like it. Just don't judge things that you haven't tried, okay?